What's up, y'all? Today, I'm talking about why your solos suck. So I have a couple of qualities listed here, and I also have this nifty little graph. So the first thing that a great solo has is energy. And I'm not talking about balls to the wall, 99 miles per hour every 5 seconds type of energy. It's a very specific type of algorithm that you want to start putting to use. And I think that this alone is probably going to transform your solos to something that everybody is on the edge of their seat waiting for that next phrase that you're going to drop on them. So energy, here we go. I've got this graph here, and I've got energy complexity on this axis, and on this axis we got time. So say your solo is 16 bars. I don't know why it would be that short, but say it's 16 bars, just for the example. As you can see, we kind of start down here. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna change that. Let's put it down here, actually. All right, so you see what I'm doing there, right? This is a great mentality to have when you're starting your solos, because for a lot of guys, the music director looks at them, and all of a sudden, it's like this whirlwind of notes happening. And I used to do this myself. But if you think about it like this, it sort of locks you into limiting yourself, because I know a lot of y'all out there are extremely talented. You have all the chops in the world, but guess what? Hold it back. Deliberately stop yourself from going too far too quickly, and you're gonna thank me for that later. So now as we go, we've cranked it up a little bit. Now this is an important spot right here. It kind of levels out a little bit, right? So what you want to do is sort of maintain a certain energy level without going too far beyond or without losing it. You start to lose energy, you start to lose people, but after you've leveled it out, they're expecting what's happening next. So you've held it back, you've leveled it out here, you've increased your energy a little bit. Now we get to this sort of plateau. This is another important spot that you don't want to forget about. You don't want to always build your solo directly up. I like to level mine out a little bit, build it up, and then pull it back just a little bit more. So if we're 16 bars, we're about 8 bars through. Whatever the rest of your band is doing, they've just about gotten to that 4th repetition of it. So the audience is expecting sort of this new section to happen over here. A great way to distinguish your first half from your second half, where you really start to crank it out, is by, of course, holding it back just a little bit more. Not all the way down here, but hold it back just a little bit before you really let the fireworks happen. For the rest of the solo, it's basically a steady incline up. My goal is to end every one of my solos here, or even here, or even here, right? Just try to completely push your boundaries and be 100% in the moment. And you're going to end up creating something that's super unique. Your energy, your rhythmic complexity is at its peak right here. Also known as the grand finale. Next up, context. Pay attention to what the other guys in your band are doing. And there's a flip side of this. If you're a drummer and your keyboard player is soloing, you want to be listening to that solo. You want to be kicking off of what they're doing. You want to be reacting and responding to it in real time. Don't just be sitting there looking off into space, holding down your 4/4 pocket and think that that's going to enhance anything. It's not. It's honestly, it's getting in the way. So if you're drumming and you want to have some fun with the solo and you want to help your soloist accentuate whatever they're doing, listen to them, respond to them. If I'm playing a solo and I want to do a little accent bop bump, the drummer should be on that by the next time that happens, on the next bar. Same thing goes for a bass player. If your keyboard player is going somewhere really crazy and outside, you know, I'm not expecting you to just have the perfect ear and the perfect intonation and follow exactly every single chord, but you can kind of hear whether it's going up or whether it's going down. Sort of imitate that motion. Next, control. What I have written in small type down here is end it already. We're bored. All right, so this is control. Knowing how to start your solo, knowing how to get out of it, knowing how to cue the rest of the band, knowing how to let the band and the audience and the people watching at home on YouTube, letting them know when you're done is super, super, super important. I cannot stress this enough, because this is another one of those things. Actually, none of this stuff are things that they teach you in music school. Once you get into it, You gotta get out of it. So here's something that you can do on your next solo to practice having that level of control. So we're still in C here. I'm jamming. I'm going, I might be doing a little riff like a D, E, G, E, D, E, G, E, D, E, G, E. A little like repetitious riff like that, right? To increase my energy level. We get to the end of the solo. Here's something you can do. Take that little short motif and raise it a half step. Raise it another half step. Raise it another half step. While increasing the speed, while increasing the intensity and the dynamics of what you're doing. So you have your little motif, that's fine, that's cool. But that in and of itself is not enough to let the other guys know that you're done. Now, another aspect that I'll add to having this level of control also has to do with your body language and your eye contact. Start to look at the other guys. Start to give them something to work with. You've got your context working out. Couple rhythmic accents for the drummer. Look at the drummer. A couple of harmonic turnarounds for the bass player. You've got your context. Some kind of repetitious motif that the guitar can jump in on and maybe harmonize with. You've got your context, okay? You start building up your energy. You get to your final little thing. You do your little chromatic motion upwards, and nobody goes to the change. What happened? Well, you forgot to look at them and smile at them and nod at them, or shake your head and then run around in circles. Give them that visual reference just in case. Now, this is absolutely a must if you're playing in a group that is maybe an open mic or a jam session or some group that you're less familiar with. You got to make sure that you're looking at your musicians, you're looking at them dead in the eye, and you're saying, yeah, go to the change, right? I got enough stuff on my plate. I'm not worried about you. If you want to end your solo and change and go to the next part, you got to let me know that. You could be like Frank Zappa and do a hand signal, do something like this, or head, or a bridge, or however you want to do it. Doesn't matter. But give them something so that they're not guessing, and you don't have half the band going to the change, the other half of the band going to the bridge. Have that level of control as a failsafe to where everybody's looking at each other, waiting for that next cue. That's going to make your band super tight. You guys are going to get along better. You're going to be able to communicate in a level that's similar to actually reading each other's minds. But let me know what you guys think. Do you have problems with soloing? Do you have problems with getting the attention of the other guys on the gig? What specifically do you think you could improve on in your solos? Or even, watch some of my other videos on this channel. What do you think I could improve on? Question of the day. Today I'm going to give you kind of a rhythmic exercise as a question. My question is, how many beats of space am I leaving between these two phrases? All right, here's my tempo right here. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and ba 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 ba. Ba 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 do. Rewind it back, count along, count the quarter notes along with it. Let me know in the comments below. But at the end of the day, when you're in your band, I don't care what instrument you're playing, if you have energy, you keep it in context, you have that level of control so that everybody in the room knows when you're done, that's how you get the money.